big up young Philly to a certain extent, right? Big up young Philly to a certain extent. He's now back in the UK. In case you're wondering, yes, he was charged with various rapes. I think he's been charged with 3 in total, right? I think it's 3. British YouTuber travel back home. Yeah, let's quickly read this. Actually, this is an overview of his details. He's allowed to travel back home on bail for sexual assault charges. It says here, British YouTuber, content creator, young Philly, who was facing trial in Perth with sex assault charges, has been granted permission to travel home for the UK for the first time since he was arrested. You happy about that? The entertainer, whose real name is Andre Felipe Valencia Barrentos, allegedly raped a woman in his Perth hotel room after a performance at a nightclub in the city's north in the September of last year. He was arrested in Brisbane, so he was on shit. He was basically confined to Australia with his passport revoked, stuck there for a year. Jesus Christ. He was arrested in Brisbane before being extradited to Perth in October, where he stayed since he's part of his strict bail conditions. But District Judge Gary Wilson Macy has allowed an amendment to the bail conditions, which clearing Mr. Barrentos to travel home to the UK on Tuesday for almost 4 months. Yeah, he can stay there for Christmas basically. Then he's back in Australia to carry on with the trial. He will be required to return to Western Australia on January 7th, 2026, and must surrender his passport to authorities the following day. Mr. Barrentos, who is a rapper with millions of social media followers, was touring Australia in the time for the arrest. I wonder how tempting it must be for him. To just decide to just fuck it, and then just run to Colombia or something. I think that's where he's originally from. Maybe there's no extradition treaty from Colombia to Australia. I wonder how tempted he must be to just get a plane from England to Colombia and then never come back. I wonder if he's guilty, of course. If he's not guilty, face your day in court, fuck it. But if he's guilty, that might be the right place to go, because even if he's not guilty, actually, because I think his career is ruined, to be honest. He was pleaded guilty for the charge of sexual penetration without consent and assault causing bodily harm. The district court heard that there will be a $100 surety separate from Mr. Barrentos' $100,000 personal undertaking, and his electronic device must have location services switched on at all times while overseas. In court, Mr. Barrentos smiled when confirming his name and told Judge Macy he understood the conditions and thanked him. When entering the district court, the entertainer took a picture with 2 fans. So he's feeling relaxed and cool, which might explain these pictures. He jumped on randomly Snapchat. He's on Snapchat at the moment. I'm assuming he's on Snapchat because I've seen a bunch of creators on Snapchat now, because Snapchat is now giving, or is paying a lot more. Snapchat is paying a lot more. To content creators in terms of monetization. I think mostly because they want more people to use the app, so they pay out way more. That's why the Kardashians, for instance, exclusively post on Snapchat, or post most of their stuff on there. That's why also JT, that was involved with the Cardi B and Nicki drama a little bit earlier on, she was replying and posting some of her replies and videos on Snapchat. So she would say something to Cardi on Twitter, then run to Snapchat, hoping people would kind of jump over there to see what she has to say, you know, guaranteeing her fucking payout. So I know Snapchat are paying content creators fairly well, especially if you're famous. And I'd imagine also it's a safer place to be. I'd imagine. I think there's way more toxicity and negativity towards him, I'd imagine, on IG. So it's probably best to stay on Snapchat. He randomly uploaded this picture where he says, does the curly hair suit me? And I don't know, man. This was like a bit of a sick guy thing to do, because he's obviously trying to be sexy, right? I don't think he's like trying to show off his Jericho. I think he's trying to, like, you know, be sexy and hope like someone slides in his DMs. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, surely your focus is in the wrong things right now. Yes, I know everyone has their needs. He's a man. It's been a year, probably without any contact with anybody, let alone physical contact. But surely the last thing that he needs right now is to be sliding in girls' DMs, having people slide in his DMs, you know, meeting with like, I don't know. If I was him, I'd be keeping my circle incredibly tight until the trial's over. Especially if you're guilty. If you're not guilty, of course you should do it. It's obvious what you should do. But if you are guilty and you're trying to get away with such a heinous, crazy fucking crime, which should include some shame, I think that's something else I also thought is very interesting in this era we're living in. We're living in an era where there's, like I said before, there's this world trade now, right, in the gay community. that refer, or people are now saying a lot, trade, which refers to a man that likes to have sex with other men, especially gay men, but doesn't think of themselves as gay. We live in that kind of, we live in a world where people control you, and then if you hit them in real life, if you say something to them, mean to them in real life that breaks their heart or makes them cry, they are super shocked why you did that. It catches them off guard. They can't understand it. It's like, hold on, you started this. You said X, Y, and Z. That's why I said this and that. But we live in that weird world. Everything's kind of upside down. So it should also be, this is another form of upside down, where you can be accused of rape, like proper rape, R-A-P-E, rape, right? There's also these accounts. Remember these accounts? There's that one, and then there's these. Remember from the BBC? This is what when was this article? This is June. British rapper Young Philly faces 2 more charges. The YouTuber, whose real name is in March, he pleaded not guilty for 3 counts. According to court documents filed on Friday, he faces 2 new counts of sexual penetration without consent, and no plea has been entered for them. The act alleged to have taken place on the 28th of September. Brentis has been touring Australia around that time of the alleged offence. So there's 2 more instances took place. I think there might be another one as well alleging to something happened in Magaluf. But let's just say there's 2 more. I'm assuming when they say 2 counts, that means 2 different people. So he's got 3 counts of rape on his head, but he's out here posting, like, I don't know, thirst traps essentially. Like, this guy's mind is broken, isn't it? Because even if you're innocent, like, fight for your case, bro. I don't know, fix your life, like, do some introspection, maybe go on a silent retreat while you're here in the UK. I don't know, like, posting first trap pictures, like, does the curly hair suit me, is an insane thing to be posting. The most insane one's a picture of his feet, actually. There's a picture that he does where he's out in the he's outside somewhere, and he's with his bare feet walking around, like taking a picture of his feet, like recording his feet. I'm assuming it's like, I'm back on road, back on solid ground, England. I don't know. But that was very freaky. Then he obviously posts another picture on his Snapchat with 2 younger siblings, I'm assuming, from his family or relatives, their babies, which is the classic thing people do, right? When a guy's been accused of domestic violence and the guy's been accused of some sexual assault, harassment, rape, the first thing they do is pop out with a kid, you know? It's like a YouTuber having a dog or some sort of pet in their hand as they're apologizing on their lap. The first thing a YouTuber does, especially a guy when they've been accused of rape, is suddenly your family man. Suddenly you're like dad of the year. Suddenly you're uncle of the year. I mean, godfather of the year. You're out here like taking all pictures and shit with your little female siblings. It's fucking hilarious. And then of course, one of the other pictures he posted as well was a picture of his PC setup. I'm the best at Warzone. You know, taking, you know, I guess he's out here gaming. He's out here on lobbies and shit with accusations over his head top. Fucking wild. I know he can't speak about the case, you know, which is what it is, but I guess he's out here doing what he's doing now. I wonder if the Snapchat thing started when he was in Australia, or he started, I guess he had to start it here, because if you're in Australia, you can't technically maybe earn money over there while you're there, but still, incredible thing to do while you're currently on bail for 1 rape charge, and then there's 2 pending ones on your head, which I'm assuming will probably hit him once the Australia one has been done. I'm assuming once the Australia one's been done, most likely I would assume that they're probably going to go ahead with the other 2, right? I'd imagine so. But yeah, he's in a tough place, man. He's in a tough place. He's in a tough place, but I just couldn't imagine doing this with my time while I'm fighting those cases. Like, the last thing I'll be thinking about is some fucking hanky panky with an adult. Honestly, the last thing I'll be thinking about is some hanky panky. I'll be legitimately worried, fucking silly, sweating buckets, crying, trying to figure out how I'm gonna fix my life, sort it, ensure that I'm not guilty, repair my public image, which is probably even worse than the guilty charge. He could get found not guilty. He could get found not guilty, and it still won't do any good for his public reputation. It's damaged forever. That's the unfortunate nature about rape allegations, especially with men. Even if you're innocent, and you're found not guilty, it doesn't matter. Your career's still ruined, because that smut on your name, you can never get it off. And the other thing that he has really against him is his reputation. That's the main thing he has going against him, his reputation. Because even if you don't believe what those girls have said about him, or if you don't believe the accuser of the rape accuser, you can't deny that there is so much evidence out there that proves, or that at least displays, not proves, at least showcases and displays that this guy is a bit of a sex pest, allegedly, right? He's a little bit handsy, forward, doesn't seem to have an off button, you know? Those type of guys always get themselves in trouble. We know them. I'm sure some of you guys have friends like that. They're a liability to hang out with in clubs and shit because they do too much. They make you all look fucking bad. They scare away the hoes. You know, they might bag a couple here and there, but mostly scaring them away. It's kind of hard to deal with. So, unfortunately, that reputation can't be judged in the court of law. It's done in the court of public opinion. And most people think, yeah, that guy's guilty. So, even if he does get found not guilty, cleared of all charges, his life is over. So, I can kind of understand in that respect going on Snapchat and trying to, you know, stack up your funds, get on with your life and shit. But I don't know. I'll just put my life on pause, man. Your life isn't on. You can't get on with your life with a rape allegation, a rape fucking accusation, a rape court case coming up. You just can't as a man. You really shouldn't be posting thirst traps. That should be the least thing on your mind. That should be the least thing on your mind. But hey, maybe I'm the weirdo. Maybe I'm the freaking weirdo. Big up him. Big up him.